What is up, guys, and welcome back to another video. In today's video we're going to be talking about should you buy or avoid the EcoBoost Mustang. And you are in luck because I'm a very experienced EcoBoost person. I have one, and then I have another one. I have two, not one, two. So I'm going to walk you through what we're going to do today. We're going to talk about the engine. I'm going to walk you around the car, and we'll make things up as we go. The first thing we're going to talk about is the engine. Now this has the same 2.3 inline 4 turbocharged engine that makes 310 horsepower, and it's just a fun engine, to be completely honest with you. Now I do have a 2016 EcoBoost Mustang. If you're new to the channel you wouldn't know that, but I do have one, and it's all over the channel. So if that's something you want to take a look at, go ahead and do so after watching this video. But this is a 2022 EcoBoost Mustang. Now this, to be completely honest with you, is not my car. It is a long-term rental that I am claiming as my car. It's yours as long as you pay for it. Now this is the facelifted S550, and it looks different from the not facelifted S550, which is like mine. I personally prefer the looks of this one over the pre-facelift, but you know, it all comes down to your preference, really. It's just a picky person. But it looks good. The headlights look really cool. You do get this little Mustang horse on the side of it, which is a cool touch. Still looks cheap, but whatever. Now the front bumper is really cool. It does complement the look of the car, and it does give it a bit of an, you know, sporty, aggressive look. You do get a bit of plastic that does look a bit cheap, to be honest with you, but it's fine. Don't hate the player, hate the game. It's not the Mustang's fault, Ford's fault. Now the side of this car is definitely something that I like to look at, especially because it is as sleek as your hair when your mom did it when you were 5 years old. But all jokes aside, it is an extremely attractive looking car. It is a coupe, obviously. The only thing I despise about this car are those rims. Who knew that 18 inches could be a miserable thing? Take a look at this. Now this car is on all-season tires, which is now this car is, what is this fart can? Now this car is on all-season tires, which is extremely inconvenient because it rains 24/7 here, and I just find that all-season tires don't really like to grip the ground, which is unsafe, so don't get all-season tires. But yeah, definitely aggressive looking, definitely cool looking. You do get a bit of, you know, muscle on the quarter panel. Front fenders, you do get a little bit of a you know, but it is nice nonetheless. Now coming around the back, it is definitely a pretty sight to see. Again, love the taillights, the updated facelifted or whatever it is you want to call it. Very cool compared to the older ones. You do get a little spoiler that is paint matched, which is nice. I really can't imagine the car without it. Now coming down here, you do get a diffuser, thankfully, which is quite nice. A bit too plasticky for my liking. Down here you get those exhaust pipes, and I have to say this car does really sound much better than the pre-facelift, or at least for me. I notice a massive difference between this car and my 2016 EcoBoost. This is what the 2022 EcoBoost Mustang sounds like. Next up, we're going to take a quick look at the trunk, and to access the trunk, just kidding, there's a button down here. You press on it, the trunk will open eventually. Once it does, you have a lot of trunk space in the EcoBoost Mustang. I can't even begin to tell you what I fit in the back of this car. There's a screwdriver in the back there. But you do get a big trunk, and you also do get a spare tire, which is cool in case the all-season tires decide to, you know, quit their job, because they're quite known for that. Alright guys, now that we're inside of the car, we forgot to film the back seats, so I have to do them. So I'm just gonna do it real quick because the cameraman doesn't want to do her job. Or does she? She does it? She does? She doesn't? Okay. Oh! I hit my knees. Alright guys, now I'm inside of the car, and I'm gonna put the seat back, and this is me in the back of a 2022 EcoBoost Mustang. Alright guys, back to the front of the car. I'm gonna put the GoPro Professional on my head now, so I can show you exactly what I'm talking about. The first thing we're gonna look at is the infotainment system, and is it responsive? Yes, it is. There is some function to it. I really like the sync screen, and I've always said that I like it. I just feel like there is so much you can do, and this one does have Apple CarPlay, but you need to have it plugged. And then you have these buttons here that people say are like fighter jets and whatever. You do have the hazard light, which works like that. You just push it up and it starts working. You then have your traction button, and next to that you have your steering wheel feel button, which if you lift up, you know, it'll change. You have comfort, normal, and sport. I keep it in sport because I'm a tough lad. And next to that you have mode, which you push up. You have sport plus, you have track, you have drag mode, which is not in the 2016 EcoBoost Mustang, and you have snow wet. Other than that, you do have your AC controls over here, which are, in my opinion, very simple and very straightforward. And you do have a steering wheel, pretty nice, pretty chunky. It's a bit too big for my liking, but it works. You know, it's good, it's okay. But in terms of controls on the steering wheel, you do have your volume and skip track and all the mute button and all these audio related things on here. Funny enough, on my 2016 EcoBoost Mustang, this is on this side and this is on this side, so I can control my volume stuff from here, and I can control the little dash thing from this side. But in this car, it's the opposite for some reason. And then here you have cruise control. You can set, cancel, and blah blah blah. You can pick up and decline calls. You have a speedometer and your RPMs. Pretty simple, pretty cool. And then you have a digital speedometer in the middle, which I also don't have in my car. And yeah, that's pretty much everything when it comes to this area. It's a great car, it's a good car. It does have good performance, to be honest with you, but it's a bit more entry level. I wouldn't say it's a serious contender to, you know, a Bugatti Chiron, but it works on most days. It beats most other cars within the same class. So this is definitely a good entry sports car to want. Now, I did have some issues with the car in terms of its reliability, but I don't really feel like this car is unreliable. It is a very reliable car. It took many beatings, and I did drive it around daily, and I was always beating it up. So, you know, the car really did endure a lot of the beatings. So, should you buy it or should you avoid it? That question will all come back to you and your need. I feel like it looks good, it drives well, it handles well, it's got okay performance, enough to keep you excited. But trust me on this one, you need to be prepared, because everybody's going to tell you that it's not the GT. And I understand where people could complain, like, oh yeah, it's not a Mustang GT, it's a 4-cylinder Mustang. Mustangs are not supposed to be 4-cylinder. I've heard it all. You're going to hear it all. But in the end of the day, once you drive this car and once you take your friends around in it, they're going to understand that it's a car that deserves a bit of respect, like me. So subscribe to the channel and be respectful, because we're out here filming. It is an amazing car. It's a fun daily car. It's a durable daily car. You do have a lot of trunk space. You have enough space to fit 2 adults in the front and 2 inbred disabled cats in the back. The cameraman is always sitting in the back. My sister is always sitting in the back, and they both fit fine. Do you have any issues with the back?
Very claustrophobic.
Very claustrophobic. So yeah, should you buy it or should you avoid it? You should definitely buy it, because it's a nice car. And I feel like now I'm saying the same thing over and over again. So yeah, this is the part where I tell you. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you are new here, don't forget to subscribe. And if there's anything you'd like to see or know about the EcoBoost Mustang, make sure you comment down below. I'll see you guys next video.